Welcome to the first lecture on my series. This one is going to be on time management, and it's an intro to personal time management. I recommend that you consider either listening to the podcast, download the audiobook, or actually read the book. It isn't that long, but it's a great book on how you can plan properly with the 1 Minute Manager. Great textbook. So our overview for our presentation objectives is that we want to identify the benefits of time management. We want to help you evaluate your productivity cycle, and we want to identify goals and learn how to set priorities. Principles of time management is all about what we're able to accomplish, breaking our old habits like procrastination and putting off till later, and we want to enhance your personal and work experience. The benefits of time management are that it helps control stress. Time management, proper time management, helps you reduce stress on yourself. It balances your life between work and home. It helps increase your productivity, reducing waste. And it identifies priorities, what's most important and what should be done first, and what can wait till later. It also helps you accomplish your goals, so you feel better about yourself when you've succeeded in getting your tasks done. And it helps keep you organized, and that's important. Personality types. The first one is a procrastinator. This is a person that puts things off to the last minute, but they're constantly stressed so that they're trying to rush to complete it. So it puts a lot of pressure on yourself. They're perpetually late person, not organized, always late with work submissions. It's their habit, and they're constantly stressed. They're perfectionist. They're never satisfied with the work submitted by themselves or done by others, and they're always frustrating trying to make it perfect, so they review it over and over. Then there's the easily distracted person. They're not focused. They're not committed to task. They're a poor achiever. They're easily distracted by emails, text messages, and social media. Then we have the do-it-all person. They can't say no to anyone, and they feel like the only one to get the job done correctly is themselves, so they bury themselves in work, which also leads to stress. Which of these 5 types do you think is the worst to work with? Why? Well, personally, they all are, because each one of these individuals puts undue pressure on me to get the job done. So I'd rather not work with any of them. You need to ask yourself some self-assessment questions. Do you wait until the last minute to accomplish a task? Do you often arrive late for work or late for meetings? Do you work on an assignment more than twice, trying to perfect it? Do you often shift from one project to another before completing that initial project? Do you have difficulty turning down requests even when you know you don't have the time to do them? You just can't say no. Procrastination is a bad habit. It's the method of postponing activities, often at an excessive level of stress. It results in wasted time, missed opportunities, low performance, and of course, again, high stress. Why do people procrastinate? Well, some are doing so because they fear to fail. The fear of failure is probably one of the biggest ones. Some like to be perfect. They practice perfectionism. They want it to be absolutely perfect, so they review it over and over again and make many iterations. There's negative self-talk, a lack of confidence, inadequacy. You don't feel like you can do it. Some people just don't know where to start. And for some reason, some of the tasks might be unpleasant. You may not really want to do them, so you put it off. There's also a distraction, a lack of focus. Again, text messages, social media. And the big one is a lack of motivation to get the task completed. The phases of procrastination. Do any of these sound familiar to you? I've got to start soon. I should have started earlier. There's still time. I can still get it done. Why bother? I can't finish it anyway, and it's probably not going to be correct. I will not do this to myself again. How many times have we said that to ourselves, huh? And my favorite is, but I don't know how. Well, you never will unless you try to find out how to begin. The habit of procrastination is a bad habit, and a new habit is going to take time to develop. You need to break away from that. Understand the cause, develop strategies to fix it, and seek help if you need it. Work on both the task and the environmental aspects of harmful procrastination. Avoid stress, avoid embarrassment. So, what to do? Complete your unpleasant tasks first. Do it early in the day when you're fresh and wide awake. Break the larger jobs into smaller pieces so that each little task is a success as you work towards the final big project. Determine a time to make a decision and then share the deadline with others. Reward yourself for your accomplishments. When you get a task completed, take a break, have a cappuccino, have a couple cookies, just relax for a few minutes. But no matter what, do something. No matter how small, do something. Otherwise, it's never going to get started and it's never going to get done. And get some help if you need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your environment, close the door, clean up the clutter. Remove food, magazines, TV, your phone, and other distractions from your workspace. Tell your family or co-workers you're not to be disturbed for the block of time that you are working. And post a little post-it note. Put a reminder up to focus where you will still see it. Your productivity cycles are periods of time when you feel your energy dips or rises. For some of us, we're morning people. Our best energy is early in the day, and later in the day we tend to drift off. Or you might be a night owl. That may be when you are doing your best work. You know when your pattern is. Work with it. Recognize that personal cycle and try to schedule your tasks accordingly. When do you do your best work? Did you know your time is valuable? To figure it out, take your annual salary, multiply it by 1.5, and divide it by the working hours per year, and that'll give you your cost per hour. So if you're working at $40,000 a year, multiply by 1.5, which means $60,000, divide it by 2,000 hours, which is 40 hours times 50 weeks, and you'll find that the answer is your time is $30 per hour. Cost per hour divided by 60 will give you your cost per minute. So with the $30, your cost per minute is 50 cents a minute. So every minute of your time is worth 50 cents. Think about it. Create a time audit. List your daily tasks. Set a deadline for each task. Record every task, noting any interruptions, and take notes. Note the amount of time that you spend on each task. Evaluate amount of time spent on priority tasks. And evaluate the time you wasted also. It's important. Your to-do list should be, or should not be rather, a wish list. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be overwhelming. And it should be a logical order of things. But you might consider also creating a not-to-do list. This will help you make smart choices about priorities, delegate tasks if possible, and you don't focus on unimportant tasks. Save those for last. Your guidelines should be: do not include too many tasks. Don't overestimate time. List the most important tasks first. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. Schedule time for breaks. Take a 10-15 minute break here and there. If you're working on a project for 2 hours, set a time for 10 o'clock and take a break till 10:15. Relax your mind, close your eyes, and also schedule for the long range and separate the short range goals. Your goals and objectives, defining them helps you do several things. It focuses on how you spend your time, builds your confidence, increases productivity, And defining the objective, what are the immediate steps or intermediate steps that help you accomplish the goal? That's important. Characteristics of goals are they should be specific, they must be challenging, otherwise why do them? They got to be measurable, and they have to be achievable or attainable, otherwise why do it? So they've got to be relevant, and also they need to be time bound. They must have a deadline. So your goals are to generate goals on paper, organize the daily activities, align goals with personal career goals, line up tasks according to priority, and stay focused. When setting priorities, list your daily tasks. Ask yourself whether you want or need to accomplish that certain task today. Rank tasks in order of priority, and match your priorities with those of your own goals and objectives. Reschedule top-ranked priorities during high productivity cycles. So if you're a night person, put your high priorities up there. If you're a morning person, do it then. When you set priorities, determine how to spend energy. Schedule your days more effectively. It helps provide direction, and we recommend using the alphanumeric method. List those priorities with an A that are top priorities or must-do activities. B for medium priority, should do after the top priority are done. And low priority, what to do afterwards, but there's no hurry for those. And then number each letter set in order of which you should do next, A1, A2, A3, etc. And giving you an example, A1, update my resume. A2, update my cover letter. B1, determine networking opportunities. B2, use search engines for job prospects, and so on. In other words, the C topics are those that are not important and don't need to be done right now. Your Pareto principle is in business. It basically, for you, it means 80% of activity value is concentrated in just 20% of your activities. The first 20% of your time spent on an activity produces about 80% of the result. In business and in management, 20% of your employees cause 80% of the problems, and that is the Pareto principle in business. Understood? I hope? Yes. Meanwhile, again, I'm going to suggest you look at the 1 Minute Manager. Listen to it. It will help you immensely. And I recommend you visit the Business Time Management for more tips on planning and adjusting your time schedules. Have a good day.